What's up, everybody? This is Devin White, linebacker for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You're listening to the LCC Network. Go Bucks.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Commissioner's Clubhouse and the LCC Network for our Little Critters Clubhouse Hall of Fame edition. That's right, we are tallying up everyone's Hall of Fame scores thus far after the 2020 season. We're going to go over some news and notes from around the league, and on top of that, we're going to do our Fantasy Valentine, a player that we are absolutely in love with going into 2021 that we haven't talked too much about yet. And with me today, I've got my co-commish Jordan on the show like always. How you doing?
What's up, everybody? Good to be back.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks. It's always great to be on the show every single week.
No, it's this is a fun episode. This is one I always look forward to every year, just to see like how did I progress? How did other people progress? My goal is just like I don't have to get in the Hall of Fame, just don't let anyone pass me. Like that's kind of my thought process. But some people are very close to passing me, actually, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. But Jordan, you want to kick us off with our news and notes from around the league?
Sure. I'll do that. Of course, the biggest news of the week. This is the first week post Super Bowl, and
Sad.
yeah, and not to toot our own horns, but me and Pat kind of called the shot last week, and your Super Bowl champions are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
We
Every
literally caught everything that happened in that game. You mentioned offensive line issues. I mentioned Tampa Bay's defense being too much to handle, and that was exactly it.
Yep. They were too much for the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs couldn't even manage to muster up a touchdown. So it was a rough one. And that makes number seven. I said number seven for Tom Brady to extend his all time record, not only from a single player, but that's a franchise record. Which is wild to think about. We've watched one man break a franchise Super Bowl record in our lifetime.
That's
Um,
nuts.
but yeah, that was major news. And since it is the LCC Hall of Fame edition, the other major news this week were the real life NFL Hall of Fame inductees. And I'll rattle those off real quick because it is news. But you got Alan Faneca, now Hall of Fame guard. Everyone remembers him with the nasty Pittsburgh Steeler run games. You got old Oakland Raider coach Tom Flores. Uh, Good old Megatron Calvin Johnson, first ballot Hall of Famer.
Definitely deserved it.
Speaking of in the Super Bowl champ Buccaneers, a guy that was on their first Super Bowl team, John Lynch, now 49er GM.
Definitely deserved it.
Yeah, and no brainer here, Mr. Peyton Manning. I mean,
I can't believe they let him in.
yeah, what were they thinking on that guy? And don't know much about him, but NFL contributor Bill Nunn, congratulations to him. Um, Drew Pearson, wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys, and defensive back Charles Woodson. And I'm not sure what team Woodson is going in with, but I remember a lot with the Raiders and Packers and things like that. But yeah, that's the real life NFL Hall of Fame list, and that about concludes significant news of the week, and we can move on to our actual league business.
Ooh. You want to do Fantasy Valentine first, or you want to do Hall of Fame? I feel like you should just get the Valentine out of the way.
Yeah, if you already have yours figured out, I'll let you shoot first.
Okay. The guy that I'm looking forward to most, who's my Fantasy Valentine from 2020 going into 2021. We haven't talked about him at all. He's kind of low key. Pat Mahomes is my guy. No, I'm just kidding. That'd be so dirty. Honestly, all right, I'll be honest. I don't really know the free agent perspectives going in 2021. So keep that in mind here. But no joke, a guy that I really am looking forward to, and we really haven't talked a ton about, is Justin Simmons. Is a guy that I feel like really, I mean, he's always been a top tier safety, but I feel like we really saw him explode this year to a new level with the way Justin Simmons played in Denver. And I do think that if they can get some changes going, it's only going to help Justin Simmons' production even more. And that's a guy I'm definitely looking forward to going into 2021.
All right. I'm going to go a little different path. And my Valentine is actually going to be a rookie.
Ooh.
And I'm going to sound like a bit of a Clemson homer here, but my rookie Valentine is going to be Travis Etienne.
Oh, yeah.
And I believe somebody right is going to take him, and I believe he could slot in any offense in the NFL already. I mean, he's a great runner, great in pass protection. Worked his tail off to get a lot better at receiving, and became a really nice receiving back over the last 2 years. And I just think every year, you're looking for that guy that can take the next step to be hopefully a top 5 to 10 back and Mr. Do It All in fantasy points. And it's always nice to get one on a rookie contract in our league. So my Valentine is an early rookie prediction and Mr. Travis Etienne. And I know Najee Harris is getting a lot of pub later in the process, but Travis is going to be an animal.
Oh, he definitely. I mean, he's first round material in my opinion. You're gonna have to pay that to get Travis Etienne after this rookie draft. I mean, I guess it's possible he ends up in a terrible place, like the worst possible place you could think of, where he just doesn't ever do anything. This is a terrible spot to be in, but I think for the most part, he should be a very safe rookie pick. Going into
you'll have
2021.
to put a pretty high pick in to get him, but some of those sweeter Valentine's Day dates are expensive, man.
That's right. That's right. Instead of taking her out to Golden Corral, you gotta go to Red Lobster. You gotta be willing to spend the extra $1.
Gotta wine and dine.
That's right. Quick reminder, everyone. I mentioned this in the group chat. It's possible it just got overshadowed, but if you haven't voted yet, make sure you do it by the end of this week. That way, I feel like there's a couple other poll questions we need to create and vote on still. So I want to get that wrapped up, and then we can kind of move on to the other stuff with that we need to do in the league and everything. But yeah, I just want to remind everyone, if you haven't voted, I know there's still a good bit of people, make sure you get those votes in by the end of this week. All right. With that, Jordan, you ready to start this Hall of Fame stuff?
Let's do it.
All right. Cue the Hall of Fame theme song. All right, there we go. Sorry for the abrupt end of the music. I've meant to fade it out, but I accidentally hit stop. So there we go. So let's start off here. I know a lot of people who are on the cusp of getting in to the LCC Hall of Fame, and I've got some news. No one new got in. That part did not change, but we literally have people who are, I guess, literally a season away, at least 2 people probably, a season away from finally getting in, and definitely deserve to be in my opinion. Jordan, we want to work from worst to first or first to worst?
We can go worst to first.
Okay. And we're not going to go through every person who's ever played in the league.
Yeah, just active.
Yeah, we're just going to do active guys. And that way you can kind of relate. So we had some new guys join the league. Brandon, Alex, and Zach all joined the league as rookie GMs. Brandon is the only one who came up with a whopping 0 Hall of Fame points. For those that don't know, the easiest points to get in our Hall of Fame is divisional wins. You get a divisional win, you get half a point. That's that easy. But to get in, you need 200 total points. So put that into perspective. That's a lot of divisional wins if that's the only way you get in. That's gonna be.
Yeah.
I'll probably be dead by the time you get in. That's literally 100 years. So just if you played one divisional game a year, but obviously you play more than that. So, anyways, here we go. Again, Brandon, 0 points, didn't do anything, at least anything worth mentioning. The only other person to do that is Bryson. Bryson was the worst GM probably in league history, so put that into
Brandon will
perspective.
definitely pass Bryson next year.
Yeah. Well, Brandon's not in the league anymore because he didn't set his lineup.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Sorry, Brandon.
Rip. Sorry, Brandon. Maybe he'll be back.
So he probably didn't even need to be mentioned. So
No, probably not. We'll jump to Alex, though. Alex actually jumped 5 GMs in the Hall of Fame running. And there's a lot of people that play in this league. I would count them all right now, but that would be an awkward pause of silence.
Yeah, let's not.
I was going to say, Jordan, if you want to count while I talk about Alex real quick, you can, but don't feel like you have to. So Alex has 1.5 Hall of Fame points. All of it came from divisional wins. He got 3 divisional wins, so he's at 1.5 total. We'll move on to Zach. The exact same position. They tied, actually, 1.5. They are,
Way to rattle off those division wins this year, fellas.
Hey, if you stay on this track, you'll be in the Hall of Fame in under 200 years. So, I'm just kidding. You guys are getting away before it. I just wanted to be a douche. No, you guys keep it up. There's so many Hall of Fame categories, and I'm going to share this file on the website, by the way. There's the categories: divisional wins, playoff appearance, division winner, playoff win, second place, second place overall, that is. MVP player, Hall of Fame player, LCC champion. If you get 10,000, 15, 20,000 points total, you get points for that. 50 wins, 75 wins, 100 wins, 10 playoff wins, back-to-back division titles, back-to-back championships, 3-peat title, 3-peat championship, 10 high point weeks, 20 high point weeks, 1,000 postseason points, 2,000 postseason points, turnaround team of the year, GM of the year, rookie GM of the year, steal of the draft, rookie player of the year, undefeated regular season, and a 15-0 regular season. All of those are the scoring categories.
You need time to catch your breath, or
yeah, I know, right? If you missed that, feel free to rewind like 30 times. But
yeah, or just go open the file, and it's a lot easier to see.
It's actually really easy to gain Hall of Fame points. It's just that you pretty much have to put your dues in to get in. And there's people who made the Little Critter Bowl who are still a good ways away, and we're going to talk about some of them in a minute. Next up, let me scroll over.
Mr. Mondo.
Mondo coming in after 2 seasons, 11.5 points. He now has 5 division wins. He has 1 division title. No, sorry, a playoff appearance. And that's how he did it. That's how he's got his 11.5. So just think of that when you guys are kind of in the back. I mean, in 2 years, he's already got 11.5 points. That's pretty solid. Next up, we got Charles, and this is the opposite of that. He has 15 points in, I don't even know, 7 years? Yeah, 7 years.
Been playing with us for 7 seasons already?
Yeah, I think it was 2014. Yeah, 2014.
Goodness, yeah.
2015, 2014, something like that.
I guess he did start while we were still at Lander.
Yeah. He's got 8 divisional wins in 7 years. He has 1, what scoring category? He's got 1 Hall of Fame player, which helped a lot. That's 8 points total there. And then on top of that, he finally got 10,000 points total scored in his career. So we got 3 for that. So there you go. There's Charles. He actually, I know some people might laugh, but his point total actually jumped a good bit because he finally got someone in the Hall of Fame and he got that 10,000 points. So he jumped up a considerable amount, which is good for him. Next up is a guy, he's only been in the league for 3 total seasons now. It's Big Os. He has 18.5 points. He is 9 divisional wins. He's got 2 playoff wins. And on top of that, he also has 1 Hall of Fame player, which is good for him. That always helps. And that's his total at the moment. Okay, actually, I'll stop after like the next three people I'll talk about. We'll take a break for a second, talk about these people as a group. Next up is Peyton with 19 total Hall of Fame points. His number jumped a good bit, actually. He has 8 divisional wins. He's got 1 playoff win, and he finally got 10,000 total points scored in his career. He also got a couple other things. He got steal of the draft one season, and he got rookie player of the year another season, which gave him a few extra as well.
Nice.
Mike is next. He literally did not change. I don't think his total score. He's at 19.5. Nothing's really changed for him. I think he joined 20.
Good fight, Mike.
He's been in the league for 4 years, which isn't bad. I feel like it's like 5 fantasy Hall of Fame points per season, roughly.
Yeah.
Next up, BP coming in strong with 25 points in just a few years, 6 division wins, 2 playoff wins. On top of that, he's also got a division winner, and he won a playoff. No, sorry, he's got a playoff appearance, no playoff win. Sorry, I screwed that up for Peyton earlier. I said he had and I think same with Big Oss. Peyton does not have a playoff win. He has a playoff appearance. That's where he got that from. Anyways, back to BP. He does have playoff wins and appearances, and he's won a title, division title that is. So he's gotten really far really quickly. I think BP's future is very bright in the LCC. I mean, he's doing really good early on.
Yeah.
Last person, we'll kind of go back over this group, and if you want to say any comments about him, Jordan, you can. Is Michael with 28.5 fantasy points. He's got 9 divisional wins. He's got 1 playoff appearance. He also has, let me go over here, he's got 2 MVP players and a Hall of Fame player. So I think that says something about Michael. He's not winning a lot of games. He's not winning championships necessarily. He's not even making the playoffs. But he does do a good job of finding this ultra stud player who just kills in fantasy, but he fails to build the unit around that player to really be successful long term.
Yeah, I think we've all kind of considered Michael as always like a big name acquisition type of person.
Yeah, he is.
That.
Anything you want to say about some of the guys we just ran through, Jordan?
I mean, out of the 4 or so you just named, I'd say the most impressive in just a few years has to be BP. I mean,
2 seasons, I want to say, is how long he's been in the league.
Yeah, I mean that's a nice little jump. I mean he's got 6 division win. What is it? If he's been in the league 2 years, that's 2 divisional sweeps. Is that correct?
Hang on, let me go back and look.
I don't know. Maybe we played more division games, but I was thinking 3.
Yeah, he got What this year we did? We played more because he's 4 teams per division, and you played each of those teams twice.
Yeah, he's definitely one that stands out in that grouping. To be just behind Michael, with by far fewer seasons, keep up the good work.
Yeah, no, I mean, and for those that can't associate team name to GM, BP is Beg for G-Reg. His overall regular season record is 14-10. He's 2-2 in the playoffs. He's played 2 seasons. His first season was 2019. He went 6-6 and won his division. Made it in as a 3 seed and lost in the first round that he played in. And then 2020, he goes 8-4. Does not win the division, but gets all the way to the conference final game just to lose Daquan, who ended up winning that conference, obviously. But yeah, I mean, nothing but good things to say about BP. He has been a great young GM added to the league since 2019.
Yep.
All right. Next up, we got the big guy Mafali, who's actually a Hall of Fame scorer. I don't even know if it changed. If it did, it was like maybe by a point. It's 38.5.
This is a big tank year.
Yeah.
You know, he took pride in acquiring all the draft picks that he has.
You better take pride in it, my God. Like, It's I feel like it's boom or bust right now. Like it's either gonna like blow up in his face or he's gonna look like a genius. He
Yeah,
went,
he's either going to win a championship or text me in week 5 that he's never going to play again.
yeah, probably. He's 28-32 overall in the regular season, 1-3 in the postseason. He went 2-10 last season. I don't even know if he won a divisional game. But anyways, his Hall of Fame points total is 38.5 compared to the next active owner in the league, and next highest is Michael, who's at 28.5. Michael's 10 points away. BP's like 13 points away, something like that, from catching him. So, hey, you got it. This is going to be it. I mean, we could see a big jump in Hall of Fame points if he can just get it together.
Yep. It's your season, Steve. Go get it.
Next up, this person has only been in the league 3 seasons if you include last year. That's Maria. She's got 42.5 Hall of Fame points. She's got 9 divisional wins. She's got 2 playoff appearances. She's also won her division twice on top of that. Both years she's made it. She's won playoff games. She's won a conference championship. No Hall of Fame players or any player awards or anything like that. Literally, all of her Hall of Fame points come from just straight up beating people. That's the way she's gotten to 42 and a half in just 3 seasons. So that's pretty good. When you're averaging over 10 points a season, I feel like you're doing good, in my opinion.
Yeah. Viva!
Viva!
It's for Maria.
She'll have to listen to this. She'll laugh at that. Yeah, no, I mean, keep it up for her. I mean, although she went 1 and done in the playoffs, hell of a regular season, to say the least.
For sure. She kept it together longer than I thought she could have.
Yeah. Next up is a guy who I feel like is the exact opposite of BP and Maria, but needless to say, he's been in the league for a very long time. It's Storm. He's got 65.5 Hall of Fame points, 21 divisional wins, 3 playoff appearances, 2 division win. Sorry, I'm mixing my words up. 2 division titles. He's also, on top of that, Storm has 1 playoff win. He's also got 4 Hall of Fame players. That's crazy to think about. 4 guys in the Hall of Fame. We'll talk about some of the other guys coming up who are higher on the list but don't have as many. He's also got 10,000, 15,000 points total scored in his career. He's also got 20,000 points total, which is really good too. But again, Storm's just a guy who's hardly ever in the playoffs, but another person who's gotten some really good players in his career who ended up being studs, but just not good enough to get in.
Storm just keeps it moving,
He does.
He's always going to be there, whether he's making playoffs or not. He's going to play. Sets his lineup. So, what can you say? It's Storm. I mean, if the way I like to equate it, if anyone has, and I know a lot of us probably have, if anyone watches the series The League.
Oh, yeah. He's Taco, 100%.
Equate Storm to being our league's Taco, 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think he's got any problem with that.
No, not at all.
He's a good time. Love him.
Yeah. Storm has been in the league 10 seasons. He's had only 1 season did he finish over 500, but he's made the playoffs 3 times. So, and it was 2016 the last time he made the playoffs. So, I mean, Storm is a guy who's always hovering around 5-7, 4-8. But this was, without a doubt, in my opinion, his best season ever. And it was just terrible luck. I felt like Storm was a guy who probably deserved to be in the playoffs for once, but just had some tough matchups. Guys who just were really good this year, he ended up playing against, and they beat him.
Yeah, he had some tough luck.
We got Hunter up next, and another guy who's been in the league for a short period of time compared to a lot of people that are active right now.
Hunter's really impressive to where he's at. First of all, he's got the most badass number at 69.
He does. He has 69 Hall of Fame points.
It's really impressive that he's gotten to that 69 position within a few short years.
It's really impressive. This is the only year, 2020 was the only year did he ever go below 500. And it was a bad year. He went 3-9. He had like over 200 more points scored against him than what he put up. So yeah, he's in rebuild mode, but he's definitely a person who can get it done. Just gonna have to make some moves this offseason.
Yeah, I have faith he'll make a rebound.
And I don't know, honestly. I can run through how he got 69 points real quick. Nothing really changed from last year because he did bad. 12 division wins. He's also got 3 playoff appearances in 4 seasons. He's also won his division. Let's see. He's won his division 3 times. On top of that, he's got 3 playoff wins. And then on top of that, he's gotten 10,000 points scored in his career. He's also won back-to-back division titles, which is really impressive to say the least. And there's one more something he got. 1,000.
GM.
Did he get that? I was going to say he also got, I think, 1,000 postseason points maybe.
I'm pretty sure he had a rookie GM of the year.
Let's see. Yeah, you're right. Rookie GM of the year. Or was it? Hang on. Yeah, he did. Sorry, this spreadsheet is so long that like you have to like scroll all the way to the other end to see like what the person got their points, what category they got them in. So, anyways, yeah, Hunter got rookie GM of the year. He's been for the most part really good besides last season. We have got another stud player who joined back in 2016. I want to say is Billy Lowry, 79 Hall of Fame points. He's won 11 divisional games. He's been to the playoffs 4 times. He's also got 2 division championships under his belt. He's got 5 playoff wins on top of that. He's also finished second place in the LCC before he's broken up 10,000 points scored in his career. On top of that, he's also gotten 1,000 postseason points and 2,000 postseason points. And that's pretty much it. That is Billy Lowry, ladies and gentlemen. He is a stud in the league. Detroit Bad Boys, also the first and currently only player. He got Christian McCaffrey on the LCC cover of the season. It was basically just made a Madden cover for a fantasy league and put Christian McCaffrey on him because he's a stud. But it was a curse. It was a curse.
Yeah, I mean, there's a pretty good argument that Mr. Billy Ray is a healthy Christian McCaffrey away from a title this season.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, the dude, that's the only reason he didn't win.
Yeah.
You know, he won his division. He went 8-4 last year. He was a 2 seed. He outscored his opponents by over 300 points for the season. Just remarkable all around. He's had a great career. There's only been 1 season where he ever missed the playoffs as a rookie year. He went 2-9, and that was a pretty rough start. But since then, nothing but good things.
Yep.
Anything you want to say about these guys who have not broken 100 points yet? Because after that, we get to the 100-point club in the LCC for Hall of Fame points.
Billy and Hunter are definitely the most impressive in the next group. They've put up a lot of points in a few short years. So I expect them to keep up the good work and be challengers for a while as long as they decide to stay in the league.
Yeah. They're both going to be good for a while. They're very different, I feel like, in their approach to fantasy, if that makes any sense at all. I feel like maybe it's just me, but I feel like Billy makes more moves than Hunter does. So I think Billy's more of a risk taker in that regard, but definitely both guys with a lot of respect to their name. You can't say anything bad about them fantasy wise.
Yeah.
Definitely good GMs. All right, Jordan. We got our 100-point club. These are guys who have broken 100 Hall of Fame points in their tenure in the LCC. Again, we're only talking about active owners. We have skipped a boatload of guys who have been in the league, who's got decent amount of fantasy points, but they're not active. There's no point of us talking about them, especially considering some people probably don't know who they are. So it's just kind of a waste of time. But you can see the full report on the website. I'll have that up probably sometime this week, I would imagine. whenever I get around to it. Just keep bugging me and I'll get it done. So here we go. Jordan, you're up. With 136 Hall of Fame points, 30 divisional wins, 6 playoff appearances. You got, dang it, you're like one person over. I couldn't see you. You got 4 divisional titles. On top of that, you got 3 playoff wins. You also got second place one year against Jade. You also got 3 Hall of Fame players, which is solid. You got, of course, you've been in the league so long. Of course, you've broken 20,000 points total in your career. But on top of that, you got 50 total wins. Nothing to shy away from. That's solid. And on top of that, you got back-to-back divisional titles before. It looks like you've gotten 10 total high point weeks, and you've scored a good bit in the postseason, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, we can move on.
We can move on.
I'm not going to be satisfied until I have a championship.
No,
all these years and no championship.
I literally might get into the Hall of Fame one day without ever even being in a championship game. We'll get to that a little bit later, but I feel like you and I both had good regular seasons and just fallen short in the playoffs. Other than that one year where you went all the way and lost, you're kind of like me in that regard.
So we'll move on to number 9 overall.
Number 9 overall. This guy, dude, I mean, I can't tell you. I think he jumped over 50 Hall of Fame points just this season.
The biggest jump I've seen. Like,
yeah. Other than maybe Cameron, which I'll get to later.
That's true. All the championships.
Yeah.
Up quick.
With Jameson, though, he's got 26 divisional wins, and he didn't join the league until 2013. Jordan and I have been in the league since 2010, the beginning. We started this league, and Jordan's got 30. I've got 31. James got 26. I don't know if that says he's been in weak divisions or he's just.
That's what I'm going to say. Weak divisions, no doubt.
He's got 5 playoff appearances, 4 division championships. He's got 1 playoff win. With all of that said, obviously because he's never been to an LCC championship game. He's got 5 Hall of Fame players. He's gotten over 20,000 points scored in his career. He's got over 50 total wins in his career. He's won back-to-back divisional titles once before. He's also three-peated divisional titles before. He's gotten 1,000 postseason points. He's gotten turnaround team of the year once, and he's gotten undefeated, which is 10 points there. So, yeah, Jameson is only 60 points away and has been in the league for under 10 years. That is really impressive.
Yeah, he's a great player. Hell of a regular season. He just got way too hot, way too early.
Only person to go undefeated.
So I know next year, Jameson, you're going to want to lose your first couple and then start making your push.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we need to have him back on the podcast too. I miss him.
I know. I actually saw him over the weekend. He came down and visited me, him and Amanda, and they brought Caroline with him.
Oh yeah, I saw y'all went to the aquarium.
Yeah, went to the aquarium. We were able to put Caroline in a shark cage, and she did the whole shark exhibit experience. Just kidding.
No way.
That would be fun. That would be funny, but no.
Yeah, I saw a picture. I'm pretty sure I like that. She was cute.
Yeah. We had a blast. But anyways, I was talking to him. He's like, I want to be on the show sometime. And so I know he wants to be on. He's just got a lot going on in life in general right now.
Hopefully he's listening right now.
Hopefully. I would hate for one of the guys who started this thing and who isn't listening to the podcast. Shame on you, Jameson, if you're not listening.
Yeah, if we don't get a text message this coming week, I'm going to be disappointed.
Next up is John, my dad, or John. He's got 100. He's got 152.5 Hall of Fame points. He's been in the league since day one, 2010. He's got 25 divisional wins. He's got 5 playoff appearances. He's got 2 division championships. He's got 4 playoff wins. He's gotten second place once. He's gotten 4 Hall of Fame players. He's won a Little Critter Bowl. He's scored over 20,000 points in his career. He's got over 50 wins. He's got over 1,000 postseason points scored in his career, and that's it. That is how Eastside Brawlers has gotten this far into it. He really didn't jump that much from last year. In fact, I was actually able to surpass him in Hall of Fame points, surprisingly, without even being to a Little Critter Bowl. So
he's another one that just keeps on plugging, man. Like,
yeah,
I love Mr. Nuge. Like, I'm just shocked he had like sometime in this whole process he didn't get sick of us and like stop playing. But
somehow he kept hosting the drafts and buying us Little Caesars pizzas.
He might not have the best year, but by golly, he's going to be at that draft with his magazine and his newspaper with those glasses on, and he will get that draft done.
My dad, no one's really seen him at draft day, at least from your side, Jordan, in a long time, I feel like. But like now,
that will always be one of my most lasting favorite images of draft days is just Mr. Nude showing up with his, like everybody else has technology out the yin yang, and he's paperbacking it.
He was religious, man. Every year he'd get that USA Today fantasy rankings because that was the only one that was ever up to date. And you would have to go to the most back alley, shady gas station to find it. But he'd find it, and he'd come to draft day with that magazine and just checking off players as we went. Just check, circle a guy. I mean, cross him out. And that wasn't that long ago. I'm talking like maybe 3 years ago he was doing that until USA Today just stopped doing it because they had one customer in America, and that was my dad.
Yeah.
But no, as he's gotten older though, like he's like, who got taken? Who was that? He's like, asking us it's just great. Maria's the same way though in that regard though, so it's kind of funny like both of them at the draft together.
Yeah, I wasn't able to be with y'all in person, but I remember this past draft we were FaceTiming a lot.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I can remember her like, what happened, man?
No, we definitely got to do a draft in person this year. I think it'll be a blast.
Go away, COVID.
Yeah, for real. Next up is myself. I've got 164. I jumped like 30 Hall of Fame points in one season. I've got 31 divisional wins, 9 division championships. I've got 9 playoff appearances. That would have been a lot of divisional championships. I got 7 divisional championships. I've got 3 playoff wins, which that's pretty bad. 1 MVP player, 1 Hall of Fame player. I've got over 20,000 points scored in my career, over 75 wins scored. I've actually got over 80 wins now. 3. Let's see. I've won back-to-back divisional titles 3 times. I've gotten over 20 total high point weeks. And high point weeks, what that means is you were the leading scorer in our league for a week. I've done that over 20 times. Got over 1,000 postseason points. GM of the year once. Not that it means anything to me. Steal of the draft. Rookie player of the year. Every category that doesn't add up to a championship, I pretty much check the box. But, whatever. I just keep being Mr. Regular Season King and falling on my face in the playoffs.
Keep on pushing, Pat.
I will.
One of us will do it one day.
We'll get it done, and we won't have a single championship to our name.
Yeah.
Next up.
This starts active top 5.
Yeah. Oh, top 5?
Yeah.
Top 5. You want to do a sound drop real quick with your voice?
Boo. I'm always good for something, man.
You're always good for something. That's right. Number 5 is Matthew Legg, the Crazy Legs, with 183. His point total went up a good bit this offseason, or from 2020. He's got 22 divisional wins. He's got 4 playoff appearances, 3 divisional titles, 6 playoff wins total, 2 Hall of Fame players, 2 Little Critter Bowl championships, over 20,000 points scored in his career, over 50 wins in his career. He's won back-to-back divisional titles once. He's won back-to-back Little Critter Bowls. He's gotten he's broken 1,000 points in the postseason. He's gotten steal of the draft once, and that is the story of Matthew Legg, a guy who's searching to get in the Hall of Fame. Still isn't in, even though he's got 2 back-to-back Little Critter Bowls. I mean, that in itself is extremely impressive.
He's getting close.
He's getting there. Gotta be quicker than that.
I know. I'm pretty sure he's gonna officially firm up his team name next year.
Oh, really?
He's just going all branded because everything else. He's Jiu-Jitsu Jesus.
Yeah.
Like his Instagram and his YouTube. By the way, if anyone's listening, go check out Jiu-Jitsu Jesus. But yeah, that'll probably be his team name next year. But
that's cool.
As he trucks to the Hall of Fame, he'll be under yet another alias, but this one will stick. He's actually got that trademarked.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm surprised no one's done that yet. I feel like that should have been a common one.
I guess no one decided to grow out their hair and take on the persona.
Next is Daquan, primetime players, with 183.5. He barely passes Matt after 2020. He's won 21 divisional games, 7 playoff appearances. He's gotten 6 divisional championships. He's got 7 playoff wins. He's gotten second place twice now, back-to-back years. He's got 1 Hall of Fame player, over 20,000 points scored in his career, over 50 wins in his career, back-to-back divisional titles twice. He's done that twice. He's 3-peated his division before, and over 2,000 postseason points scored in his career. He's got turnaround team of the year. I mean, what can you not say about Daquan other than he doesn't have a ring yet? Yeah,
and he's gotten awfully close the last 2 years.
I'm telling you, man, the guy, he's good. Let me tell you, he is good.
You're right at the tip, Daquan.
Yep, just the tip. Next up, and this is where we get our last 2 guys are literally a season, and Daquan really, and even Matt, are basically a season away. I mean, we
got 4 potential teams that are a season away from Hall of Fame, but like me and you both agree, 2 for sure.
Yeah, 2 for sure. 2 would basically have to win a championship to get in.
These next 2 would have to tank not to get in, and this is going into our top 3 active scoring.
Yeah. Cody actually is our next up, number 4 overall. Second, though, from getting in. He's got 17 divisional wins. He's got 4 playoff appearances. He's got 1 division championship. He's got 9 playoff wins. He's got 1 MVP player. He's got 1 Hall of Fame player. 2 Little Critter Bowl championships. He's got over 20,000 points scored in his career. Over 50 wins in his career. He's won back-to-back Little Critter Bowls. He's also got over 10 high point weeks in his career. And he's got over 20,000, good God, over 2,000 postseason points in his career. He's gotten GM of the year once. He's also gotten steal of the draft. All of this coming literally within the past couple of years, even though Cody's been in the league since day 1 as well.
Yeah, he was a late bloomer, but boy did he bloom.
Like Cody, I'm trying to relate him to an NFL coach. Like a guy who started off pretty rough, but then just exploded in the later part of their career. And I can't think of who that is right now. I don't know. I'll have to come back to that.
Yeah. He hasn't quite won as many as Bill Belichick, but
yeah,
Bill Belichick did coach the Browns for a while.
That's true. And he defensive coordinator for the Giants. So, next up, I mean, he's 3 Hall of Fame points from getting in. I mean, we should almost give it to him, but that's just not how we do things. He's literally, if he can win all of his divisional games next year, regardless of what happens, he could miss the playoffs somehow as long as he gets 6 division wins next season, he's guaranteed a spot in the Hall of Fame. It's Colby, 197 total. He's got 32 total division wins, 6 playoff appearances, 5 division championships. He's got 6 playoff wins. He's gotten second place once. He's got 5 Hall of Fame players. I mean, that is just him and Jameson both the most in league history. He's got a Little Critter Bowl championship. He's the first one ever, actually. Over 20,000 points in his career. Over 50 wins in his career. He's also got over 2,000 points scored in the postseason. And that's Colby, ladies and gentlemen. He is...
I got a lot of respect for Colby.
Yes. And it's not just fantasy football.
I play a lot of fantasy with Colby. We play fantasy baseball together, play a lot of fantasy, and he's just consistently good at everything. And he's definitely our best single championship owner by a mile, in my opinion.
Yes.
He's always going to be there. I mean, you can invite this guy to play fantasy hockey, and he'll probably finish playoffs.
If it has fantasy anywhere in the name, Colby's probably competitive.
Cooking, he's good.
Yeah. Much respect to Colby. And our last two, Jade, our first ever Hall of Fame GM, 216 has scored and changed. But Cameron, no one has ever done this. He got over 100 fantasy Hall of Fame points in just one season. That's Cameron Nugent, everyone. The loudest person in the league. He's got 29 divisional wins, 9 playoff appearances, 5 division championships, 11 playoff wins. He's gotten second place twice. He's gotten 1 fantasy MVP player. He's got 2 Hall of Fame players. He's won back-to-back Little Critter Bowls. He's had over 20,000 points scored in his career, over 75 wins in his career, over 10 playoff wins, obviously, in his career. So I've already said that. He's won back-to-back divisional titles. He's won back-to-back Little Critter Bowls, like I said earlier. He's got over 10 high point weeks in his career. He's got over 2,000 points in the postseason in his career. He's gotten turnaround team of the year twice. He's gotten GM of the year once. Is there anything else I can't say about him? I mean, obviously, over 300 points, Hall of Fame points. He's crushed the milestone by over 100. I don't even...
Love him or hate him, he's the guy in the league, man. At this point, I mean, you can equate him to, I don't know, whether you want to have it be Thanos or Darth Sidious. He's leading the show, and it's going to take a freaking hero to come take him down.
That's right. He's the Night King. He's coming to crush us. Much respect to Cameron. Very rarely is he ever not competitive, and I think it's in fact only one season he's ever missed the playoffs.
I know he loves Star Wars too. I know.
Oh yeah, he loves some Star Wars.
All those lost championships, he was just Palpatine, and now he's full blown Darth Sidious.
That's right. Oh, that's great. I like that reference. Oh man. Well, that's it, everyone. I'll have the total list up, like I said, on the website. I'll explain where it is, where everyone can find it. So you can compare yourself to other people who maybe are no longer in the league that you played with at one point or maybe never even heard of. And you're like, who is that guy? He has a lot of points. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Not many leagues have this, especially do they track every player who's ever played, even if it was just for one season. We do that, or I do that at least. And
yeah, you've put a lot of work into that.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. It is a whole thing. And sure, I know the Hall of Fame point system isn't perfect, but I think it's pretty solid. You may not agree that, whatever category is worth X amount of points, but at the end of the day, I think when you look at these people who are the top of the list and their accolades, you can't argue against it. They deserve to be there or should be considered as a guy who's on the brink of getting in.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
And hopefully at some point we can start getting this podcast. I know we talked about it up in the group message, but up on Spotify, I know we're supposed to have some help with that.
Yeah, Zach Zach volunteered to help me out a little bit with that, which I.
So hopefully, we get in the next few weeks we can get that done and create a larger audience.
That's
Or
right.
even if not a larger audience, an easier way for our existing audience to tune in.
For sure. Well, everyone, happy Valentine's Day. We are officially in the NFL offseason, that is, even though the LCC offseason's been going on for a while. We'll see you guys in, what is it, week 7 of the offseason? Right? Maybe? Yes? Yeah. Sure. Yeah, definitely.
6 or 7, one of those two.
Yeah. We don't know what's going on. It's COVID. But yeah.
Quarantine.
Quarantine, that's right. Eat your vegetables, quarantine, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I don't have an outro. Here we go. I'm going to make one.